What is up, ladies and gentlemen? This is Anthony checking in. Obviously, this is the VR Game Rankings YouTube channel. And as you can tell, I look a little bit different today. And that's because I just stepped in the building like 2 minutes ago. I'm coming from an event where I had to dress up a little bit. And no time to change, no time to do anything. I have not looked at any news of any kind. I have no idea what is going on. So I will be checking news out with you guys as well, live and direct. Yeah, Kev Gret says, looking fancy today. The Jordan Complex is in the house. Oh my, Steven Sales. Wow, fancy clothes, looking sharp. Yeah, you know... normally I would not be wearing this, ladies and gentlemen, but yeah, I did have to go do something earlier today and thought I would get home maybe like 1 o'clock Pacific time, but I just stepped in the door literally a couple of minutes ago. So what I'll do here is let's go ahead and throw on our normal intro. That is the detached trailer, just randomly playing that for no real reason so much. Okay, let me go ahead and get today's intro lined up. Here we go. VR Game Rankings. Yeah, it is the daily vlog live. This is episode 170, and it is Monday, August 6th. Asterix Gaming is checking in. What is up? Evening, good evening. Cheers. Roy is in the building. Fluke is there as well. Yeah, it's funny. I know this is definitely a different look. I'm trying to do my best PSVR Frank impression. I am doing PSVR Frank. So what do I have for you guys today? Nothing. Literally nothing. Seriously. This is another day where I don't have anything prepared. So what I'll have to do is just, I'll throw on some miscellaneous trailers and I will look at the news right along with you guys. I mean, you guys have seen more of the news than I have. I don't know, is there any news going on? We'll have to see what happens with that. Bullet Ape is checking in. Hi all, what is up? Kev Gret is saying, I'm watching on my couch in boxers. He's going to put on something fancier. Yeah, you know what? You know what'd be cool is like no shirt or nothing, but just wear a tie. That is like a really good look. Okay, so what I'm going to do, video on the Oculus sub. Anyway, what I'm going to do here is I will grab a browser window. I'll bounce over to the Vive subreddit. This is normally what I do, like when I wake up in the morning. Oh yeah, you know, we did have this story. I saw this very briefly about the Nvidia trademarks. And so this appears to be the #1 story on the HTC Vive subreddit. All these different trademarks that Nvidia has applied for. And remember, we did have that story a little while back where this guy kind of laid out a roadmap for these new Nvidia cards. And the thought was, I believe August 30th would be the arrival of the 1180. And so these are these Nvidia trademarks, which could suggest that all of this is getting ready to take place. I have not actually read into this thread yet, but yeah, they're talking about the Quadro RTX, GeForce RTX, Virtual Link, VR Link, VR, VR Plus, VR2, VR2 Plus. And the #1 response in this thread is, how can Nvidia trademark Virtual Link when it's the name of an open standard? And the response is, likely it will be assigned to the consortium. That's not unusual when things are moving fast. Nvidia may have come up with a name before there was a corporate entity for the standards group. So yeah, anyway, lots of little Nvidia trademarks in the news, and that seems to be big news just because everybody is wondering, when are we going to get our hands on these Nvidia cards? Let's see, what else are people talking about? You know, one of the subjects actually on the Vive subreddit is this guy talking about playing the Cubicle, and that it's one of the best free experiences that he's ever tried. And you know what? That is an incredible VR experience. I really love the Cubicle. And let me see here. Maybe I can grab a trailer for the Cubicle. Have you guys tried the Cubicle? It's kind of one of these things that may have fallen under the radar at this point. So I'm going to type the Cubicle VR. And this one might be it might be relatively hard to get a trailer for this because I don't think there was like a legitimate trailer for this. I'll grab, I guess, this Sadly It's Bradley. I'll try to grab his video real quick with where he plays the Cubicle. But yeah, I really love the Cubicle. I remember the very first time I got into it, it scared the living daylights out of me. This was back at that time when I had a fear of heights. When I first got VR, when I first got my HTC Vive, well, I still have a fear of heights. Like, that hasn't changed. I have a fear of heights. But when I first got VR, I was placed in all kinds of these VR experiences where you would be standing on the edge of a cliff or who knows, you know, something along those lines. And VR was so brand new and it was really so impactful to me just being in VR. It was a brand new thing. And I would get that sensation. Like, I really felt fear. Like, oh no, I can't step too far. You know what I was playing, guys? Do you guys remember Fantastic Contraption? Fantastic Contraption was packed in with the HTC Vive. I used to be scared, literally, to play Fantastic Contraption because you were like on this floating platform in the middle of this like super colorful world, but the platform was only like 6 feet by 6 feet or something. You could walk to the edge and I felt like I was going to fall off. And so when I was playing Fantastic Contraption, I would literally get down on the ground, physically on the ground, and sit on the ground and play Fantastic Contraption because I felt safer. I literally felt safer if I was... so this is Sadly It's Bradley. Hopefully he won't be too upset with me grabbing his video there and giving him a little bit of pub. I remember back in the early days, do you guys remember this guy, Bradley? Sadly It's Bradley. He did a lot of YouTube videos back in the early days. I think he still does it. This was probably from a long, long time ago. But this is that experience Cubicle. And the downside of this video here is this video runs for like 8 minutes or something like that. So he might go through the entire experience. So spoilers. I guess what I'll try to do is as he gets a little bit further through this experience, I'll try to switch up and get off of this trailer. But yeah, my early days, man, oh my God, fear of heights was really a thing for me. And this experience, I know, you know, you're in an office, so where does fear of heights come in? Trust me, it comes in a little bit later in the experience, but I love this experience. One of my favorites, and I think it's ranked pretty high. Like if I went over to vrgamerankings.com, we actually rank experiences on vrgamerankings.com. I was going to be a lot more into that. I was going to try to highlight experiences and stuff. Haven't been able to highlight it much at all, but I know we have like a top 30 experiences. I also have like a top 50 free VR games and experiences for the Oculus Rift. But let me see. If I look at the top 30 VR experiences, I'll see where I had Cubicle ranked, because I know I had it ranked pretty freaking good. And I think the developer was like this Swedish guy. Let's see here. Yeah, the Cubicle, I have it ranked 11th, right ahead of 0 Days VR, which is really good, ahead of Destinations for Steam VR, ahead of Accounting, and I actually consider Accounting an experience, not a game. Now, Accounting Plus might be different. I have it ahead of Oculus Medium and the Wave VR. So I had the Cubicle ranked 11th, so that was pretty good. Yeah, so he's here in this experience of Cubicle. I'm going to get off of that real quick, though, because I don't want to spoil it. But you guys should definitely try it. It's 100% free. It's well worth trying. Let me go into a different trailer, and then I'll go ahead and see what chat is talking about. And we can also look up some other news as well. Okay, let me find another trailer to throw on. I'll just throw on this Blood and Truth reveal trailer. Okay. So let's see what people are talking about in here. So Paradise Decay. Hi, chat. Evening, Anthony. What is up, Paradise? Glad to see you. Reckoner VR. Oh my goodness. My good buddy Gary has made it in the chat. What is up, Gary? First time I've managed to make it live. Anthony looks smart. Yeah, I had to go to a function earlier today that was, you're not supposed to dress really crappy, so I did clean up a little bit, I guess. Ray Delatorre says, Anthony cleans up nicely. Yeah, I'm trying to get a job. So, okay, VR developers, VR publishers, Oculus, HTC Vive, you guys need a spokesperson, right? Here I am ready. I'm trying to get a job. I'm all dressed up for the job. Everything is great. SAMIK81 says, I used to be afraid of heights in Google Earth when using human scale, but I'm now over it. Yeah, you know, SAMIK81, my question is, are you afraid of heights in real life? So, for example, if there was a cliff where if you jumped off the cliff, it is certain death, can you walk to the edge of the cliff and look down? Can you sit on the edge of the cliff and like be no big deal? Or do you have a fear of heights? Because what I've found is people that have a legitimate real fear of heights, when they get VR, they have a fear of heights there as well. But then you get accustomed to it. But I don't think it solves the real life fear of heights issue, because I think it's simply a matter of our brain has realized, okay, I understand this trick. It's not going to affect me. Fear of heights isn't going to bother me anymore. But I think as soon as I got an 8K headset with photoreal graphics, my fear of heights will be right back in the mix. Okay, the big num 123. I think the Magic Leap is faking the field of view. I was wondering if there might be some Magic Leap news today. I don't think so. I haven't checked their subreddit yet. Has there been any mention of Accounting Plus being updated on PC? No, a number of people have talked about it, and I think the problem that they might have there is the original accounting, they gave a lot away by giving that demo away for free. And although Accounting Plus does add a lot of extra stuff, I think they would have to come in really cheap, like $5 or something for like Accounting Plus on the PC VR platform. And then they might have some kind of exclusivity thing going on with PlayStation. It's already been out for a long time, but I don't know. We'll have to see if Accounting Plus eventually makes its way over to Steam VR, maybe Oculus Store as well. Frederick Thorin is checking in live from Sweden. What is up? I love having Swedish visitors in the house. And like I was talking about the Cubicle, I think it's actually a Swedish developer that made that. Paradise Decay at Fluke Rogi. Heights were a real problem for me at first. Now I just enjoy that height sensation. Be interesting next time I fly. I'm telling you, you're still going to have a fear of heights. What it is you need 8K, you need photorealism, and then you'll be scared of heights again inside VR. And eventually, there might be ways to face these fears and to battle these fears. That would be super cool. AJ Jones is checking in. Hello, Anthony. What is up? I am Ruts. Whoa, fancy, Anthony. I like it. Yeah, this is going to be the new uniform from here on out. You know, I'll get a Trump tie next time, you know, a red Trump tie or something. That's going to be funny. But yeah, we got Terry Blanchard checking in from London. So a lot of the English viewers are in the building as well. It is 2:30. Well, it's 2:45 p.m. So that means it's 10:45 p.m. in London, England. I would imagine a lot of you guys got to hit the hay pretty soon to get ready for your jobs or whatever the next day, right? I mean, obviously we all have our different little schedules and what have you. Airman 929565 says, I like the looks of this game. This is Blood and Truth. It is a random trailer that I'm throwing on here simply because I don't have anything prepared. Sometimes this will happen. I have to just kind of, you know, go off the fly. And so that's what I had to do yesterday. I'm doing it again today. Hopefully tomorrow I'll have some good things prepared for the show. Alexander Ritter is checking in from Germany. Germany is in the building. Oh, my sound is low. Okay, let's see. You know, my sound was low yesterday. My blue microphone mic is all the way up. Um, I don't know why my blue microphone is at maximum. What can I do here? Let me go into the properties of my blue microphone and see if... I don't want to screw anything up, though. Let's see here. I'll go into... I can't get into that. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I did notice the mic was low yesterday. The volume was low. Not a fan of that, but I'm going to have to forget about that for now. I'll try to look into it after the show. Paradise Decay says, Ready Player One out today on DVD and Blu-ray. Did anyone else pick it up? It's been out for a while here in the U.S. because I've already rented the Blu-ray of Ready Player One. I got it from a Redbox about a week ago or so, and I did watch it again. A couple of my family members hadn't seen it. I love Ready Player One up until a certain point, and then the movie kind of loses me. Oh, the 3D version. Okay, so maybe the 3D version. Are you talking about the 3D version was released today? I do want to check out the 3D version at some point. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to the Vive subreddit. Are there any other news stories that were on here? I would normally do this earlier in the morning, try to grab some trailers, try to be ready for all of this, and didn't get a chance to do that, so oh well. Okay, so let me go over to the Oculus subreddit. Didn't see anything really on HTC Vive. We could have a light news day today as well. You know, the #1 story on the Oculus Rift subreddit, can we talk about fake reviews? And they're actually talking about fake reviews on the Oculus store. Wonderful game. This endless shooter does not let you get out of the game. Developer of many thanks for such a great game for such little money. 5 stars. I wonder what game this is that all these fake reviews are on, but that's what they're talking about on the Oculus subreddit. I will click on this and see if I can find out what game that is. Yeah, it doesn't say what game it is. But yeah, there's definitely a lot of fake reviews that are out there. I call it guerrilla marketing. There's a lot of guerrilla marketing as well because like on Vive subreddit, Oculus subreddit, PSVR subreddit, it isn't that hard if you wanted to go down that road and make up a whole bunch of fake Reddit accounts, spend a little bit of time using these fake Reddit accounts in various subreddits, posting little things to try to make it look like it's a real legitimate account. Maybe do that for like 3 or 4 months and then start using those Reddit accounts for nefarious purposes. I've even thought about doing this myself. I'll be completely honest. You know, when I was trying to get VR game rankings off the ground, I thought, man, maybe I need to make up a bunch of fake Reddit accounts and try to hype up VR game rankings with a bunch of fake Reddit accounts. And then I thought, no, I'm not going to do that. But I guarantee you there's probably other websites that do that with reckless abandon and they don't lose any sleep over it. But I've always thought that's bad karma. I'm not going to go down that road. So I haven't done that. Okay, Ray Delatorre says, Anthony, when the hell are you going to upgrade your GPU? Ray, I will give you my checking account number. You can go ahead and wire $800 in there, and I will buy that 1180 the day it comes out, I promise you. Mainfan says, game is Guns and Stories. Oh, that's the game that they're talking about. Guns and Stories, Bulletproof VR, is that what it is? It's actually not that bad, but... I mean, a lot of those reviews have to be fake, I'm sure. Hybrid Energy is saying, I don't base my purchases based on Steam Oculus Store reviews anyway, especially when you can request refunds. Yeah, you know where I used to base all my purchase decisions when I was like a regular flat gamer? The way I got all my information was podcasts. See, I've been listening to podcasts way the hell longer before I've actually started doing my own podcast. I started doing a podcast called The Vivecast. Then we, of course, have VR Roundtable, started doing that. And then now, you know, doing live streaming and this type of thing as well. But like 10, 12 years ago, I was listening to podcasts. Like 10, 12 years ago, I was listening to podcasts way before a lot of people knew about podcasts. The Giant Bomb podcast was one of my favorite. Oh my God, the One Up show, or no, One Up Yours. The One Up Yours podcast, that was a really good podcast. The Giant Bombcast. I'm trying to think of what my favorite podcasts were back then. There was a, man, what was the podcast that Jeff Gerstmann was on before Giant Bomb? He was at the GameSpot, I forget the name of their podcast, but they had a podcast. I was listening to all kinds of podcasts, and that's where you would find out what game to get, because everybody would talk about the same games, and you would kind of develop a familiarity with a lot of the people that are in there doing the podcasts, and you would know, oh, if Jeff Gerstmann likes this game, I know I'm going to like it too, and so that really helped with me as far as that. Reckoner is in chat talking a lot about Job Simulator, and Fluke is talking back to him. At Reckoner VR, was it you on the Roundtable stream that you were playing Hellblade mainly in tabletop mode? If so, you need to switch. There are some scenes in that game with some really amazing scale. The tabletop mode is like a Pixar cartoon, but I don't know that I could really play the game from that mode. It's a cool mode to look at, but I don't know if I could really run through the whole game like that. The Jordan Complex says, Anthony's such a hipster. Oh, okay. Is that about me watching me listening to podcasts like 10 years before everybody else? Yeah. I will say I am a hipster because I really was back there 10 years ago. There was nobody listening to podcasts. I listened to this podcast called The Video Game Show, or God, I can't remember the names now. But yeah, I was listening to a lot of podcasts way back in the days. Okay, I'll go ahead and change this trailer up because we've had it on here for a minute. And I'm just looking for random trailers. I'll throw this Blade Runner trailer on. So let's see. What I can do now is I have not taken a look at Upload VR and Road to VR, so I probably should check them real quick. This is Monday. You know, it's the brand new day of a brand new week. There should be a little bit of news, right? So let's see what we have on Upload VR. They're talking about Firewall 0 Hour, everything you need to know about this PSVR exclusive shooter. Well, we know that Adam Orth recently departed, and we know this game is coming out on August 28th, and we know that there is an AIM Firewall bundle, which I'm probably going to grab that bundle, actually, because it's probably the smartest way for me to get an AIM controller. They're also talking about, at Upload VR, they're talking about Echoes VR is a stealth PSVR game from PlayStation Games Camp. So I don't know anything about this Echoes VR. Let's see if I can grab this Echoes VR trailer real quick, and then I can throw it up on the screen real quick here. Hold on just a sec. I have to do everything off the fly, being completely unprepared. Echoes VR trailer. I'll just try that. Echo VR teaser trailer. Okay, so I'm just going to grab the Upload trailer, which normally I'd try to find the actual developer so that I don't give Upload VR a free plug on my channel, but oh well, here we go. I get a lot of information from Upload VR anyway, so I don't mind giving them a little bit of a free plug. Okay, let's go back to chat. What are people talking about here? Look how cool that guy looks with those Move controllers in his hands, being sarcastic. Yeah, that was on the Blood and Truth trailer. The Jordan Complex, he was listening to podcasts right after he bought the first DVD player. Not exactly, but pretty close. I bought the first DVD player in 1997. I was working at this electronics retailer in Sacramento, California called The Good Guys, kind of like a Best Buy or whatever. And as an employee, I got an employee discount. And let me tell you, that first year, 1997, I bought an RCA DVD player for like $450, and that was the cost. But we sold it to actual consumers for like $700 or $800 because it was like the first DVD player ever. That was 1997. I started listening to podcasts probably like 2005 maybe is probably when I started listening to podcasts. Okay, let me put this new trailer on. Now this is Echoes VR. I don't know anything about it, so we can watch it together and then we can comment on it. I believe that this is, okay, where is this Echoes VR? Just downloaded it. Now I'm not seeing it. Bring the light trailer. What happened to it? Now I can't find it. Okay, hold on one sec. Oh, it didn't take. Hold on, I didn't get the trailer. That's the problem. See, these are the kinds of things that happen live. Try to parse this video again. Let me copy. Oh man, it's doing the cubicle again. No, not the cubicle. Let's do a different one. Now it's starting to get really hot in this room. It's starting to get really hot when I don't have things together the right way. It's still doing the cubicle trailer. Well, anyway, I'll go back in chat temporarily. Let's see what people are talking about here. Electronauts is out tomorrow. Yes, tomorrow is August 7th. Electronauts is coming out. I believe they're retailing at $19.99, right? That is the price for Electronauts. The word was casting back then. Yeah, because they didn't want to say podcast because Apple kind of had a Apple had the exclusive on that. Oh, Dr. Freeman says, why not wear a wife beater? Well, I can tell you this, Dr. Freeman, I kind of feel like I need to wear a wife beater right about now because it is getting super hot in here. It is like 100 and something degrees today. I got these 2 lights on me and it's later in the afternoon and I did not turn down my AC as much as I should have. Jim Hall says, in 2005, Apple made podcasts available through iTunes. I subscribed to more shows than was possible to listen to. Yeah, I was a podcast nut back in those days. I listened to all kinds of podcasts. Okay, I think, oh man, I grabbed the cubicle trailer like 5 different times. I'm trying to get this Echoes trailer, copy, and parse. Reckoner VR, Gary, are you still in chat? This is an example of doing a live show and being, oh, it keeps doing the cubicle. I have this Echoes VR teaser trailer, but it keeps going back to the cubicle. So something's gone haywire for me. Let's see here. Okay, so that's got to be the trailer. Now I am copying it, and I am going to try to copy it into 4K Video Downloader. I really apologize, guys, for the fact that I don't have some good content right now and that I'm sweating and it's hot and everything. I'm going to try to get this trailer up on here, and then at least we can see this new trailer. We can comment on it and go from there. It's, you know what, 4K Video Downloader is borked. It is borked because all it is doing the same cubicle trailer every time. Okay, so I just closed 4K Video Downloader. Airman929565 says, not a big deal. Dr. Freeman says, what are some of the big upcoming games that we should expect late 2018? The biggest game still coming this year is Defector. We also, of course, have Transference. We have Blood and Truth, which is coming to Sony. Oh, guys, you know, I have something I can talk about. I don't have a trailer for it, but I can talk about it. Doom. I got to play Doom yesterday. Do you guys remember the day before I was talking about Doom and I said that I got into Doom, but the problem was I couldn't move. I couldn't move everywhere. I was trying to move and I had to use the keyboard to try to move, and I was having all these problems and stuff. So I got into the options and I was able to change all of my options and I was able to play Doom, and oh my God, it was super fun. It was really fun. I can't wait to actually get back in there and play more of Doom. But what I really need to do is I need to go into the options and I need to really dial in like what you do to open the door. It's still doing this cubicle thing. So I guess I'm boned with trailers. 4K Video Downloader, no matter what I put inside there, it keeps downloading cubicle trailers. So 4K Video Downloader has let me down, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm just going to have to leave it alone. Yeah, so I'll just talk about Doom real quick. Was able to get in it. You have a pixelated gun. You can move it around every which way. You can move around like free locomotion. You can shoot the barrels. You can shoot the bad guys. Now, everything in the Doom game, though, it's a two-dimensional bitmap. And this is something that I've talked about when it comes to id Software and when it comes to Bethesda Game Studios. They have this incredibly rich back catalog of all these classic games like Doom and Doom 2 and Quake and all this stuff. And I really wish that id would go back and take a game like Doom. This mod has done a great job. GZ Doom mod, the GZ3 Doom mod has done an incredible job. But what I want them to do is go back in there and make the barrel a 3D object instead of a two-dimensional bitmap. Make all the little health pickups 3D objects. Make the enemies 3D objects. You know, that's all they would have to do. They could leave all the backgrounds normal, just any of the characters, anything that is a 2D bitmap, they can make it like a 3D object. It would be so freaking incredible. But I was having a lot of fun in there. Definitely need to dial in my controls, but I absolutely want to try Wolfenstein 3D. I want to try Heretic, Doom 2. Super cool that that works. It is really super cool that that works. Paradise Decay is saying, what was the Doom VFR performance like on your GPU? It was absolute garbage, Paradise Decay, which is one of the reasons I really have never played Doom VFR. In fact, I'll probably be experiencing it on PlayStation VR. And speaking of that, I believe Amazon has Doom VFR on sale for $14.99, 15 bucks. Not a bad deal for Doom VFR on PSVR. Never could play it on my 970. Just ran like ass. I tried it on HTC Vive, was horrible, and then it was even worse trying to play it on Oculus Rift. So it definitely does not like Oculus Rift. So I'm going to have to wait a little bit for Doom VFR. Now, somebody previously in chat, I don't see it right here, but somebody previously in chat was asking, have I played some more Pixel Ripped? And yes, I have. I was playing more Pixel Ripped last night. Damn, that game is so good. But it's almost like I rave about Pixel Ripped too much, so I almost don't want to talk about it too much. Main Fan says, search Doom VR 3D models, and there's a guy who shows 3D models of weapons and enemies in it. Well, we have the 3D model of that little gun, and we have the 3D model of the shotgun. That's really good. But yeah, I do want to see like actually in the game, because what happens is sometimes you'll have one of those Doom enemies come up on you, and the sound is pretty good. The sound almost sounds like it's got 3D audio and everything. And one of these Doom enemies comes up on you, and they'll startle you. Like, they will actually startle you, even though it's all pixelated and old school and all of that. But as soon as you realize that they're completely flat, you know, they're completely 100% flat. It's kind of like Zombie Training Simulator. You know, it's like a two-dimensional cutout. So it doesn't really scare you as much when you know that they're flat. Yeah, Reckoner Paradise Decay is saying, not just me then, because he was having problems on his 1060 playing Doom VFR. And, you know, I've heard of people with 1080 Ti's that have had problems playing Doom VFR. I don't know if Doom VFR is just dialed in that great. I just don't know that it was dialed in very good. I Am Ruts, I think the game you want is called Stormland. Yeah, Stormland is super huge, but it is not coming this year. Oh, Ray Delatorre is saying, is Pixel Ripped your favorite game of the year so far? Wow, that is hard because there's been some damn good games. You know what I would say is in the mix? In Death. In Death is in the mix, okay? Red Matter. Red Matter is in the mix. Pixel Ripped is in the mix. It definitely is in the mix, and I'm sure I'm forgetting a couple of others. Primordian, yeah, Beat Saber. Beat Saber is a great game. I'm not super into the rhythm games, so I don't think I would put it in my top 5, but it should be in a top 5 because it's that good. But yeah, I put Pixel Ripped up there with Red Matter, In Death, Primordian I liked. You know, I'd have to go back and see what came out this year. I'd have to look at a list. Let me switch up this trailer to something else Let's throw on something different here. Actually, I'll throw this Orbis VR on trailer. Orbis VR. There's actually some decent music on this trailer too. You know, some nice piano music. So let's see. Hybrid Energy says, I finished Red Matter 2 days ago and I was disappointed. 45 minutes to finish. Dude, Hybrid, you're trying to like speed run these games, bro. Don't speed run these games. You know why I liked Red Matter so much? I think it's just different play styles. Hybrid, it kind of sounds like you get a game and you just bang away at that game until you've banged it to death. What I do with a lot of games is I'm a sampler. I'm the buffet guy. You know, I'll play 20 minutes of In Death, and then I'll go play 30 minutes of The Forest, and then I'll put on Seeking Dawn for 30 minutes, and then I'll play a little bit of Pixel Ripped. And so I tend to bounce from game to game to game to game, and the problem with that is you end up dipping your toes in the waters of a bunch of different pools, but you never dive deep on any of them. I told you guys, I'm Mr. Iceberg Slim. When it comes to video games, I'm always just scratching the surface. Hybrid, it sounds like you really dive into these games, but dude, if you finish Red Matter in 45 minutes, you're playing it wrong because you want to savor that environment. Savor the beautiful environments that Vertical Robot has created, that rendering engine. I mean, I have a 970 Paradise Decay. You can ring in for me here. I'm sure you've played Red Matter on your 1060, and it probably looked drop dead gorgeous on your 1060 because they just did such a damn good job with the rendering engine, the color, the clarity. I mean, just looking at your Oculus controllers or anything that you picked up in the environment, it was beautiful. I loved Red Matter. In Death is just a great game as far as the playability. Phil Yarn is saying In Death is scary as hell to me. It can be scary because you'll turn around and bam, there's a freaking bad guy right in front of your face. So you have to get over that really quick. Dr. Freeman says, In Death would be even better if they included the ability to melee with a dagger and teleport combo. You know, the thing that I really loved about In Death is the teleporting shard. So if you guys played In Death and you did not use the teleporting shard, that's what it's all about. You have this little teleporting shard in your hand and you just flick it like this. So if you start to get swarmed by enemies, you just flick it back like 7 feet behind you, and then bam, you're 7 feet behind you. That teleporting shard will save your ass. I love that teleporting shard. Paradise Decay says, Red Matter looks amazing. After an hour, I still haven't gone down the first lift. Yeah, what are you doing, Paradise? Red Matter is kind of it's a room game, you know, like it's a solve the room puzzle, you know, it's one of those games, but the rooms are so intricate and detailed. The only criticism I have for Red Matter is I thought the story got a little bit goofy towards the end. Kind of the, you know, the love affair and kind of the love triangle thing and all of that was kind of going on in the background of the Red Matter story. I thought that was kind of goofy, but man, the environments, the music, great music. I felt like I was in a sci-fi movie with Red Matter. Really like it. Gerard O'Hara says Mario Kart VR is in London. It looks so cool. Well, Terry Blanchard is in London as well. So Terry, you're going to have to go down there, get into the Mario Kart VR with a GoPro camera, film the whole thing so we can see what it looks like. Let's see. Terry Blanchard says, we'll have to check In Death out. Was playing Senua's prior to show and managed to beat the Fire Demon. So guys, I played some more of Senua's Sacrifice last night actually, and if I'm going to talk about it, I guess maybe I should throw a Senua's trailer on here, even though it seems like I'm playing this trailer pretty much every day. Let's throw another Senua's trailer on here. Yep. Let's throw another one on. But yeah, so I played a bit more of Senua's Sacrifice, and guys, I got to admit, I suck because I am stuck at the next gate. I got stuck at the first gate, and now I'm stuck at gate number 2. Okay, so the gate that I'm stuck at, it's like got these 3 birds the heads of 3 birds. And I know what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to climb up on this second level, and you go up over here, and then you're supposed to look at these 3 birds that are like on this wire, and they're separated a little bit, and I think you're supposed to dial your view in so that the 3 birds that you're looking at are matched up with the symbol that's on the door, right? I think that's what you're supposed to do. That's what I'm trying to do, and I cannot get through that door. So Main Fan says, line it up and hold focus. I lined it up, and isn't it the right bumper, or is it the right trigger, or whichever one you do the focus? I did it. I'm lining it up. I feel like I have the puzzles lined. I even thought I heard some special music playing for a second, and I don't know. I don't know what happened. Stephen McDougall says, I am stuck there too. Yeah, I'm getting stuck at every one of these doors. I'm just not very good with these environmental puzzles. Let's see. Anthony, not being prepared in his streams is better than 99% of other streams that prepare for hours. That's really nice of you to say that, I am Ruts. Basically, this is vamping. Sometimes if you're unprepared, you have to just go with the flow, so maybe it can actually work a little bit better. Maybe I shouldn't be prepared. Lance McWilson is checking in from Colorado Springs, and then the rest of his message got cut off. It moved too quick. I can check it over here, though. Where is Lance McWilson? Now I lost him. Okay. Checking in from Colorado Springs. Any thoughts on budget cuts for games of the year? Yeah, you know, it's interesting. We were just talking, what are the best games of 2018? And budget cuts did not enter my mind. Like, if I'm completely honest with you, budget cuts did not enter my mind at all. And I think the problem with budget cuts, it's just got a little too much of that jank factor. Paradise Decay says, oh, he's saying, you think I have time to complete games? Yeah, no, I know you don't have time, but man, you play everything. Yeah, I don't know that budget cuts enters the conversation. And I was excited. I was hyped up for budget cuts. I was looking forward to budget cuts. I still like it. In fact, honestly, we need to ask Steve, who now has a TP cast. He has wireless. Budget Cuts is a game I would love to play in a wireless headset, because you're getting down on the ground. You're kind of crawling around on the ground, or maybe you're down on one knee. You're trying to hide in those cubicles. The robot guys are walking by. And whenever I stand back up, I yank on my cord. I get twisted in my cord. All kinds of crazy things happen. It would be nice to have wireless for that. Gerard O'Hara says Mario Kart VR is in London. Yeah, I talked about that. You know who played Mario Kart, I believe, was Mike from Virtual Reality Oasis. I don't know if he has a video on it, but I think he went there and tried that out. VR fan Snakebert. Don't believe I've ever seen his name in chat. Tom Lloyd says, court today, brother? No, yeah, I'm out on bail. I got a murder trial coming up in a little bit. Hybrid Energy says, I need wireless for budget cuts. We do. We really do. But I was talking about VR fan Snakebert. Haven't seen him before. Glad to see you in chat. That is so nice. Any news on Vacation Simulator? My daughter loved Job Simulator. You know, kids really like Job Simulator. That's something I've noticed. What is the deal with Vacation Simulator? Because that got announced a long time ago. I thought it would probably be out by now, but I haven't heard any word about release date or anything. Of course, Alchemy Labs, they are now owned by Google, so they're on a little bit of a different kind of a schedule. Taking their time maybe with Vacation Simulator, not sure, yeah. Tom Lloyd says, Beat Saber kicked my butt a little these last few days. I can't imagine trying to play Beat Saber in the heat that I'm dealing with now. Yeah, Main Fan says, Mike does have a Mario Kart video. I would like to check that out. I should check that out. Martin O Movies, another name I haven't seen in chat recently as far as I can tell. He says, I liked Racket NX better than Beat Saber, except I get dizzy spinning around. Well, Racket NX and Beat Saber are kind of two different animals altogether. I like them both. But yeah, that's interesting. You say that, and Racket NX is the poster child for a game that you would love to have wireless capabilities. So anyway, yeah, let's see. Yeah, Phil Yarn says Racket NX begs for wireless. Absolutely. Paradise Decay is saying the devs are on a vacation. Talking about Vacation Simulator. Yeah, they're doing some work on a vacation so they can map out how a vacation works. But yeah, why don't I... Oh, Dante 04155 Ramon is saying, does anyone know how long Pixel Ripped is? Well, Dante, let me tell you, if you ask Hybrid Energy, he'll say that Pixel Ripped lasts an hour and a half because he runs through every single game. Pixel Ripped is a relatively short game, but I still think it has a lot of good juice to it. I really do. I'm loving Pixel Ripped. AJ Jones says about 3 hours or a little bit more. Yeah, I'm not sure how long I've been in it. I wish Oculus Store, because I'm playing Pixel Ripped on Oculus, and I don't believe it has any kind of counter that will tell you how long you've been in a game, at least not to the best of my knowledge. Okay, so what I wanted to do real quick, I still want to see if there's any kind of news stories, so I'm going to jump over to the PSVR subreddit real fast, see if anybody's talking about anything over here. They're talking about that Echoes VR game, which I could never... 4K video downloader let me down. It let me down. And now what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to remove all these things out of 4K video down. Now I'm screwing with 4K video downloader again, which I said I would just give it up. But I kind of wanted to grab that Echoes trailer just to see. So I'm going to make one last attempt at getting that Echoes trailer. So help me God, if I don't get this Echoes VR trailer in this show, I will never do another show. Okay, Echoes VR trailer. Let's try it one more time, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so here is the Echoes VR teaser trailer. I'm going to click on it. Okay, I clicked on it. The trailer is loading up. Well, actually, it's playing a commercial. It's playing a commercial for Netflix. Okay, so here is the trailer. So I will now copy this trailer. I will now paste this in 4K video downloader. And let's cross our fingers, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to get this Echoes VR teaser trailer if it's the last thing that we do. So I've popped it into 4K video downloader. It is parsing the video. Yes, it's working. It's working, ladies and gentlemen. 11.1 megabits, 720p, so I'm going to have to resize my game window. A lot of these PSVR trailers seem to be in 720p. Okay, so I did get this trailer, folks. I'm going to throw it on right now. Right about now. Yeah, see, I had to resize it. Okay, we'll throw on some volume and let's check this out. Rogue Titan Games, Echoes VR. Yeah, I don't know. Nothing super impressive about that. That looks very indie to me. You know, you're going through this environment here. At first, I thought there was some kind of echolocation kind of thing, you know, almost like Stifled in some of these other games. Because, you know, Echoes VR. Looks like you got a gun, you got a hand. You got your little mini map that you can look at with some indicators there. It looks like you might be on some kind of alien planet. Of course, you know, an alien wolf is going to run at you really quickly with the exact same animation as every other alien wolf, the exact same size as every other alien wolf. At first, I thought the guy was going to jump into the ocean there or jump into that pond, but then, of course, that alien wolf jumped right out of the pond. So that wouldn't have been a good idea. Okay, SAMIK81 says, I hate jump scares with loud noises in VR. Yeah, it'll scare you to a degree, no question. Paradise Decay says, looks a bit janky. Yeah, I mean, it looks a bit indie is what it looks like. It looks very indie, which is fine. And if the price is like $19.99, if the price is like $20 or less, you know, a lot of these indie games can find a decent little audience if they can keep the price low. But this doesn't look like a major banger by any stretch of the imagination. We've seen plenty of this kind of stuff. You know, it looks like it's got free locomotion. I really haven't seen teleport happen, and you do have your hand present, so it probably uses the move controllers. So it looks okay, but I guess we didn't have to fight so hard to get that trailer. It wasn't that great. Ray Delatorre says, it's hard to play PlayStation VR games when you've played PC HMDs. Yeah, to a degree, but you know what I'm amazed by? Like, having played so many Vive games, having played so many Rift games, I'm always amazed to throw on my PlayStation VR and play a game like To the Top, or play a game like 2MD VR Football, or Raw Data, or a bunch of these games that have been ported over. Killing Floor Incursion, I haven't played it, but I've heard good things about it. And I'm always amazed when I get into some of these games on PSVR, and I'm like, this is almost the same thing. You know, when I'm playing To the Top on PSVR, it's almost as good as playing To the Top on the Vive. You know, it's definitely a downgrade, but it's not as big of a downgrade as I think you might think from first blush. And that's why I'm very hopeful, going back to the VR roundtable discussion that we had yesterday about the Santa Cruz. And we got into a bit of this discussion about the Santa Cruz and the Oculus Go. Some people think the Santa Cruz is simply an Oculus Go with 6 degrees of freedom on the head and 2 6 degrees of freedom controllers. But my argument is, I think the Santa Cruz is going to try to almost have like a base level PS4 VR experience, completely untethered, which I think would be awesome, because I've had some great experiences on PSVR. I Am Rut says, definitely agree, Anthony. PSVR is way better than I thought it was going to be. Yeah, I mean, it is a redheaded stepchild to a slight degree, and I know I shouldn't use that phrase. It's kind of like wrong nowadays. But it is a little bit of a downgrade, but it's not as big of a downgrade as a lot of people would think. It really isn't. PSVR has, and then there's certain games on PSVR that could hold their own if they were on PC VR, like Wipeout VR. Wipeout VR can absolutely hold its own, no question about it. We got a few people talking about No Man's Sky. There's still a lot of rumors about No Man's Sky. I think we just have to wait and see if that ever materializes into anything real. Okay, so what I want to do now is, I got that trailer. That made my day. That made the whole show. Without that trailer, we would have been dead. But I just wanted to see if there was any other news. Okay, so there is some news about Contagion VR. Supposedly it has a release window. So let's see. What is their release window for this? Sometime in November. So supposedly it's coming sometime November. That would be awesome. I really wonder about this. And so Victor Burgos, why don't I go ahead and throw on a Contagion trailer? If I'm going to talk about this, I might as well throw on a Contagion trailer, right? So hold on one sec. I'll grab us a Contagion trailer. So Victor Burgos is one of the developers that is working on Contagion, and he's been very open and upfront, and like, you know, he's been out there, you know, with the community, and he's like, look, we're going to work on this game together. We're going to fix this game together. Here's the roadmap. Here's what we're going to do. You know, we're going to work on this. We're going to get this figured out. Is this Contagion? Okay, yeah, this is Contagion. Okay, and so he's really been out there trying to do this. But at the same time, I think, like, the one area where I would criticize this developer, Monochrome Incorporated, I believe is a developer, is I would say, look, if you have problems with your PC VR version of the game, the last thing you need to think about is getting it onto PSVR, because that's a whole nother headache. Unless you've got another team of another 20 developers that are going to come in and make the PSVR version, I honestly think it's a bad idea. Like, they need to concentrate on taking care of business where they're already selling the game. They're already selling it on Steam. They're already selling it on Oculus. I know it's in early access, but they're taking money. They're taking $20 bills for this thing. And I kind of feel like they should concentrate. Don't worry about PSVR. Why don't you take care of what you got going now here with this version and then worry about PSVR? Now, I'm sure if Victor were to jump into chat right now, he would probably say, well, we're going to do all of that. We're going to take care, we're going to take care of our customers on Steam and Oculus, but we're also going to bring it to PSVR. We're going to handle everything. And they have that roadmap. I could show that roadmap. Let's take a look at this crazy ass roadmap. Let me see if I can find this roadmap. Yeah, I'll see if I can find it. Just a sec. Contagion roadmap. Cool, I found it. Yeah, so take a look at this roadmap. Like, this is one of the most aggressive roadmaps I've ever seen. And then now, okay, in November, it does say PSVR release. So we kind of already knew this. So this is not new news. It's just somebody actually looked at the roadmap and said, oh, they say a PSVR release is coming in November. This is major news. Let's write a story about it. It ends up on the subreddits, and I end up talking about it. But yeah, I mean, you look at this roadmap, they got a lot of stuff that they're trying to pack in the month of August and September and October. And I feel like they'd be better suited to just fix their situation on Steam and on Oculus and then worry about the PSVR version later. But, there's money. Those dollar signs are shiny and they want that money. People talking about Beat Saber, they need to get their butts over to PSVR. But like Beat Saber, they've done a great job. Their Steam and Oculus version of Beat Saber is running very well. It works very good. So I don't have a problem with them slaving away on a PSVR version because they've handled their business. They've done a good job. Hybrid Energy says, is there a Walking Dead plan for VR? Yes, there are multiple Walking Dead games, I believe, that are coming to VR. It's hard to keep track of them all, but I do know that Skydance Interactive, makers of Archangel, they are working on some type of Walking Dead thing. Reckoner is LOL. I wonder what he's laughing about. Probably laughing at me dealing with all this drama, sweating, bright lights, 100 degrees, all of this stuff. It is funny. Okay, let me throw on some other trailer here. This is where I vamp. Okay, I'm going to throw... Oh, we were talking about budget cuts, so I could throw that trailer on for a sec. We'll throw on this budget cuts trailer. And I'll go back and see if I can find some news here. Actually, you know what I'll do? I'll bounce over to Road to VR, and let's see what their major stories are. So Road to VR doesn't look like they've really done anything in the last couple of days, because it looks like the same old story there. Yeah, not seeing anything new on Road to VR. So it looks like we're just having another slow day of news, period. And this is going to happen. And I just have to make the best of it. Drive Club VR live stream. Burning VR rubber with a racing wheel setup. That is the #1 story over on Upload VR. I wanted to check that out as well. Yeah, so they're hurting for stories as well. So they're having to do live streams to try to generate some hype there. I'll bounce back over to the subreddits. I'll go to the Oculus. Oh, what is this Woozer strap? They're talking about this on the Vive subreddit. On the subject of VR accessories, the Woozer strap. I heard somebody else talking about this. What the hell is the Woozer strap? I'm going to click on this and see where it takes me. Hopefully it's not something horrible here. Prepare for liftoff. The Woozer strap. Huh, looks weird. Let me see if I can copy this. I'll see if I can find a Woozer strap video on YouTube, a trailer, and then I'll try to throw it into the live stream here. So, because somebody mentioned this Woozer strap the other day, and I thought they were just bullshitting. I didn't know it was actually something legit. The Woozer strap. Okay, now I'm trying to find a video. Okay, here we go. Woozer Born to Feel. Okay, so it's some type of thing that you strap around your body, and then it's some type of like immersion thing. Huh, that's interesting. Yeah, it doesn't look that terrible, I think. Okay, I'll grab one of these trailers and we can take a look at it together. I don't know. I think they kind of need a new name though, because I don't know that Woozer Strap is like this super compelling name. Okay, so I have thrown that into 4K Video Downloader, and it has downloaded. Hip hip hooray. Unfortunately, this is a 720p trailer, so I will have to resize it. I'd have to re-encode all of them at 1080p. Let me see. Where? Oh, are you ready for strap? Are you ready for the strap? Here it is, Woozer Strap. Let's check out a little bit of this audio.
Ooh, what the hell? Whoa. Ah!
Oh my god.
What is it doing? Like, you can feel the music.
For the whole bag. Can feel it everywhere.
You can feel it. No, I'm not joking. I'm not joking.
It's
like being in the drum.
Yeah, that could be cool for VR. I take it all back. This actually could legitimately be kind of cool for VR. It's kind of like a sub pack, but probably a hell of a lot cheaper. Does anybody know how much this thing costs? Okay, going back over to chat. The last level of budget cuts is the best. Spoiler alert. Okay, I'm not even going to go there. Skiva007, I really, really, really want a home version of Mario Kart VR. I know it's not going to happen, though. Oh, Reckoner is talking about, he's talking about the ARG and San Miriam No Mansky. He's talking about No Mansky. Lethal Weasel VR. Whoa, looking sharp, Anthony. Oh, you're just checking in, Lethal Weasel? Yeah, I'm trying to get a job. Oculus, Palmer Lucky. You know, I'll go work for Palmer Lucky, HTC Vive, Oculus. Who else is out there? Samsung. I love Samsung Odyssey. You guys can hire me too. Airman 929565. Cool if it worked with games. So this thing won't work with games? They could probably, even if it doesn't work with games, you would think they could kind of make a version that would work with games. Hybrid Energy says, I could use it because the Vibe Pro headphones are garbage. Quiet and no bass, LOL. Yeah, I've tried playing VR games. Okay, you guys see that Oculus Rift box that's back there, right? Okay, underneath that is a center channel that isn't being used for anything, and then underneath that is a subwoofer. I actually had 2 subwoofers in here, and I would have my subwoofers pumping at maximum level, and then I would be playing VR games. And the idea was, even though I couldn't hear the music, I could feel a little bit of that boom, you know, a little bit of that boom, boom noise. And it did add a little bit, but not anywhere near as much as I thought it would. I think a sub pack or something like this would be a better idea. All right, folks. Well, you know what? I have been going over an hour. And you know what? It's just crazy hot in here. I don't know if you guys can tell, but I am sweating like a pig, because normally what I do is when I do these shows, I pump my air conditioner up to unheard of levels. It becomes like the Arctic ice chill in here. And right before I did this show, I just got home, forgot all about the air conditioner, went into this room, closed my doors, turned on these incredibly bright lights that generate a tremendous amount of heat, not to mention 100 and something degrees temperature outdoors right now in Sacramento. Hey, it's late. Reckoner VR, you need to get to bed, man. You got to go to work tomorrow. All you people in England, you guys need to get to bed. It's like, what? It's 11:35 p.m., right? You guys need to get to sleep. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and bounce out of here. And hopefully I can have a few things prepared next time. I really would like to be a little bit more prepared, even though sometimes it's doing these things. Sometimes doing this off the hip type of stuff is kind of fun, but I like to be a bit more prepared if possible. But let's go ahead and do the little outro trailer here. Here we go. Yeah. Sweet release. I'm about to get a nice cold glass of water, wipe my forehead off. So anyway, guys, thanks so much for watching this episode. This has been episode 170 of the show for Monday, August 6th. Once again, like the channel, subscribe to the channel, like the video, tell a friend. All these sorts of things are very good, and I will see everybody tomorrow. And Reckoner, get some sleep, man. Get to bed. All right, see you guys tomorrow. Take it easy. Later.